couple of times I've taken this
like
race.
Leverage with the early advantage.
For it, but
you didn't pay for it as much as when I said you'd pay for it. It's a little inside joke Michael and I have. Still hasn't let me forget.
The women's 400 IM, our first event on the program, 2 days of live swimming here on Universal Sports. And Michael, talking about your comeback, because I know there are a lot of your fans that are so curious about the process. Clearly you were contemplating it for a while, a very big decision. Was there one aha moment when you said, yep, I'm going to do this, or was it over a long period of time of just really taking a close look at it?
I mean, I think really the biggest thing is the reason why I came back, it was for me. It's for nobody else. You know, I spent so much time in the water, and I've enjoyed so much, time being in the pool and training and competing. And I wanted to be back in. And, I knew Bob and my mom couldn't kind of get me to get back in the water at any point, but I just started training just to lose some weight and to get into shape and to see what would happen. And Bob and I had talked about hopping back on the drug testing list and just keeping options open. And I got back on, and we decided that we were ready to head out and compete and see what would happen.
Elizabeth Beisel in lane 3, currently leading this 400 IM.
I've heard that, and the George Strait, the great country star, one of the greatest in history, that he was maybe one of the guys that said, hey, come on, let's go. You can do this. Is that right? Or a good friend of yours?
George is a good friend of mine, and we've played many rounds of golf together, and he is something else. He's very special, and he's been pretty good, pretty helpful. I've had a lot of people who have said certain things to me just to open my mind up a little bit more, and George is definitely one of them.
Well, I've been saying all along, I mean, here you are at 28, you'll be, what, 31?
Yeah.
In Rio?
31.
Yep. You're a year younger than LeBron. I mean, nobody was screaming that LeBron should retire last year.
Basketball and swimming are different.
You're 7 years younger than Manny Pacquiao. And he gets beat up for a living. You're 10 years younger than Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? I just don't understand the naysayers that think that, you shouldn't be doing this. It's just ridiculous. It's something that you love, that you're still at the very extreme prime of your life. And I think it's crazy that, you should be doing this.
Well, the process, if I may, the process is so demanding.
I understand that.
But of course, you both know it much better than I do.
It's much different for him at 28, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, than 18 or even 25.
Sure. I mean, it's with the things that I'm swimming now, and taking this program out, this event out of the program, it really helps.
Right.
Beisel turning it for home here in the opening event, the women's 4x100 here in Mesa, Arizona, and one of the favorites certainly coming in, given her resume, a silver in this event back in London, and Caitlin Leverance in lane 6, currently in second.
We also talk a lot about the 100 freestyle. You've been such a huge contributor to the relays over the years and that. And have you thought about the 100 free and kind of getting back into that maybe a little bit more seriously?
I mean, my starts and turns are awful.
Yeah. I wouldn't say awful.
They're not great. They're definitely not one of my strong points.
Pretty good on the 100 fly. You got a little better at night, 7.9 to 7.8.
And coming down to the final touch, Elizabeth Beisel with a very, very strong swim. And again, her season coming along very, very nicely. And in second, Becca Mann, who was the top qualifier, the 16-year-old out of North Baltimore, comes in for second place. But Beisel,
I think, Paul, she'll be very happy with that time. Under 440, 439, that puts her in the top 10 in the world. And I can guarantee you she's real tired at this point in the career. All these athletes are, but here's the halfway point. Backstroke's her best stroke. That's where she went by Becca Mann. And Becca Mann at 16 now swimming for Bob, and at North Baltimore swimming very well here. Here's her breaststroke, improved dramatically over the last few years. In fact, it's one of her best strokes now. Was one of her weakest at one point. And it was pretty much clear sailing from there. She won the race by 3 full seconds, and I think she'll be happy with that time.
It's so strange. Well, it's not strange, but being able to watch these girls and watch IMers really change and improve their strokes so much. I mean, you really need 4 strokes to swim this race competitively, and Beisel has really improved her breaststroke.
There are the final results. Beisel the winner, Becca Mann the top qualifier in second, Stina Gardell in third, Caitlin Leverance, who came in certainly one of the favorites, finishes in fourth, fading a little bit in the final leg of the freestyle. And joining us now down on the deck, Elizabeth Beisel. And usually you swim a 400 IM. It takes a little bit of time to recover. And Elizabeth, we've got Michael Phelps up here with us in the booth, and I was wondering if maybe you could use this opportunity for a little advice on how to get through that very difficult race.
I don't know. I don't have any advice other than just try to finish them.
No, I mean, does Michael have some advice for you?
I'll take it.
She knows how to swim it.
Well, what was the key part of that race for you, Elizabeth? I mean, it just seemed like, again, you were so strong in the backstroke, but Michael made the comment just a second ago about how good your breaststroke has gotten as well. That middle part of that race is really great.
Yeah, we've definitely been working on the breaststroke lately. I'm only about 2 or 3 weeks into training. I took a nice break after NC, so for right now, I think that's pretty good. I think Coach Troy will be happy, which is always a good thing, pleasing him, so I'm definitely happy with the race, I guess.
Well, congratulations. It's a super job.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, thanks so very much for spending some time. We're just underway here at the Arena Grand Prix, the 4th of 6 events so far on the Grand Prix series here in Mesa, Arizona. More with Michael Phelps when we come back.